We got LSU at 5. The governor of the state is involved, but there's something Utah doesn't have. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Luke Lytle College Sports Show. Big week here. This is the Week 10 preview. We got a lot to go over here. We got a coaching carousel update. We're gonna dive into some position rankings. Of course, we got the War Room, locks only, underdogs, and heavy hitters. Okay. To start off, though, we messed up. Well, I messed up. So that college football bracket prediction that we put out Sunday, we kind of jumped the gun. We got a little excited about some potential matchups, and we forgot the group of 5 or group 6, whatever you want to call it, automatic bid there. Completely left them out. That's bad. That's a little, you don't know ball accident there that we had there. But we're gonna get that fixed. We might do a new one Sunday, or we might wait till I know next week. I think Wednesday they come out with the first actual college football playoff rankings. So we might wait till week 11 preview to do a reaction of that. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. How I'm feeling. But let's dive into this. Let's see where do I want to start. Let's start with the coaching carousel update. This should be fun here. Okay. We'll just start off our top 5 jobs. These are my top 5 jobs, and these are right according to me. Could be wrong to you, but I'm probably right. We got LSU at 5. Joking, just kidding. LSU's 1. Florida 2. Penn State at 3. We're gonna go Virginia Tech at 4 and Arkansas at 5. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, this guy just put Virginia Tech. Not top 5, but top 4. Yeah, I did. Now hear me out. Okay. Virginia Tech. They have the tradition. Okay. They have the wins. They have the potential. Okay. And they're in the ACC, which is wide open. It's wide open now. Clemson's not Clemson. Dabo Swinney's probably on the way out there. It's open every year now. It is open every year. So, and if you get the right guy in there at Virginia Tech, you could have a fast track to winning there and being relevant in college football there, because they got it there. They have the resources there to where you could win. And then LSU and Florida, you can flip-flop those if you want. I wouldn't argue with you. Okay? Wouldn't argue with it. But putting LSU 1. I'm going to put LSU 1. Let's talk about LSU and Florida here. Okay? We got to talk about it. Okay? And let's just start off with a little video of this is the governor of LSU. He's involved. The governor of the state is involved. That's how serious football is down there. Don't think you can say that about the Big Ten. Just saying.
We are not going down a failed path. And I wanted to tell you something. This is a pattern. The guy that's here now that wrote that contract cost Texas A&M $70-something million. Right now, we got a $53 million liability. We are not doing that again. And you know what? I believe that we're going to find a great coach. I mean, maybe we'll let President Trump pick it. He loves winners. You know? I'm not going to be picking the next coach. But I can promise you, we're going to pick a coach, and we're going to make sure that that coach is successful. And we're going to make sure that he's compensated properly. And we're going to put metrics on it. Because I'm tired of rewarding failure in this country. And then leaving the taxpayers on the foot, to foot the bill. So, yeah, I absolutely. Who's that?
Scott Woodward.
No. I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach. We are not going.
So there's that for you, okay? Yeah, it's that serious there. Here's my issue with these two schools, okay? I feel like that there's a big lack of leadership within those administrations. I mean, let's start out with LSU. Okay. You had Ed Orgeron there. Okay. And he was 51-20. 2016, he was 5-2 as the interim. 2017, 9-4. 2018, 10-3. 2019, they won the national championship and didn't lose a game. They were 15-0. That was a Joe Burrow year. Okay. And then 2020, you go 5-5. 2021, 6-6 fired. Now, okay, I understand it that they fired him because he had some off the field issues. So I get that. But Florida here, well, back to Ed Orgeron. Okay. You just won the national championship and you get rid of the guy 2 years later. Before you fire him, why don't you sit him down, talk about the off field issues, make him have a press conference, apologize for everything, own up to it, and move on. The guy can win. He won a national championship. That's all I got. Florida here. Dan Mullen, 34-15. Okay. He was, I'm pretty sure, the most successful head coach there since Urban Meyer, I believe. But 2018, he goes 10-3 his first year. He wins the Peach Bowl. 2019, 11-2, wins the Orange Bowl. 2020, 8-4, but he goes to the SEC Championship, loses. And then 2021, you fire him because he went 5-6. Now, something between 2021, that year, that's kind of when NIL really took off. So you got guys who it's a crazy thing. They're trying to adapt to it and figure it out. But if you were to ask fans right now, would they, of both those schools, if they would rather have Dan Mullen and Ed Orgeron instead of Brian Kelly and Billy Napier, I'm willing to bet that they would all take Dan Mullen and Ed Orgeron. Okay? And I understand why they fire Brian Kelly and Billy Napier, but I don't think those guys were the problem to begin with. I don't really think they were. I mean, you heard it from the governor of LSU. The AD, Scott Woodward, that dude's responsible for $132 million of buyout. He was the guy that hired Jimbo at A&M. That was $77 million, pretty much. And then you got Brian Kelly at 54. And then Florida, here's where they should have fired Billy Napier, is when Billy Napier refused to give up play calling. Where's your backbone as the AD there? How do you just let him just say, no, I'm not going to bring in an OC. I'm going to call plays as a head coach when it wasn't working at all? Why do you wait a year or two or under a year? I forget when it happened. But where's the leadership? Where is the leadership? There's no leadership. LSU doesn't even have a president of the university right now. And that's going to change. They're going to end up, hiring somebody. But it's just two dumpster fires right now. And I think LSU's, they're kind of, getting on the right path there. But still, I mean, and let's just bring up Lane Kiffin. If I'm Lane Kiffin or Lane Kiffin just in general, why would I want to go to those two schools when I'm looking at all this history and what's going on there with the administrations? Why? And why is everybody saying Ole Miss? Well, Lane Kiffin can't win at Ole Miss. Where's that coming from? What can Lane Kiffin get at LSU in Florida that he can't get at Ole Miss? He can get everything he wants at Ole Miss. And if you're just going to tell me, oh, well, they're going to pay him more, go listen to Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin he's a different guy. He is a family guy now. And it's just a rumor. I don't know if, it's real. It's just a rumor. But the rumor is that his daughter's the whole reason that he didn't leave for the Auburn job, because she wanted to stay at Ole Miss. He's got a family there. He's happy there. I don't think he's leaving. I think he's staying there. So I don't know what LSU and Florida is going to do. I don't even know who would want to go there right now with how those two programs look like. I mean, the AD at Florida, he's lucky the basketball team just won, or he wouldn't have a job probably right now. But the thing about Ole Miss and Mississippi is Ole Miss wants a long-term contract, which he deserves. He deserves that. But the thing about Mississippi is that um, there's a 4-year contract limit uh, for public employees when it comes to like state. Uh, I don't know. I guess just the universities. I think that's what they're meaning here. I'm not the brightest, but there's a 4-year contract limit. Like he wants something long term. He wants something 8, 10 years probably. Now you can get around that by offering him guaranteed money, but I mean that's still a risky pick. I mean because Lane Kiffin could end up not. He could end up falling off or something. You just don't know this stuff. Um, and the other thing about the whole coaching staff thing is, and I listen to Josh Pate's college football show. It's kind of the inspiration for all of this. He had a great point the other day where, you can hire a head coach, but what's the staff looking like? Like, is he bringing his staff over or is that staff going to split up? Because, these guys are getting job offers left and right, coordinators, all that. So it's more important of not necessarily what head coach is bringing in, but what staff is coming along with him. Okay. And the other thing is that I think development is more important now than ever in college football in this new era because anybody can get anybody. All you have to do is just offer money. You can get any school can get whatever pretty much player they want now because there's NIL. You can just strictly pay as a university now. That just came out this year. You don't need to go through NIL or anything. And it's a parity thing. It's a big parity thing, which I think is good. But development, it's more important now than ever. I mean, you got to be able to have a coaching staff that can develop these guys because there's no more just sitting there and just holding 5-star after years and years. Because those guys are going to other schools now. They're going after playing time. So you got to be able to develop players. And I'm trying to look here if there's anything else I want to add to this coaching carousel update here. Nope, don't think so. So I guess we'll move on from that. Where do we want to go here? We'll go underdogs. Okay. We'll go underdogs. Let's start with, we'll go number 8, Georgia Tech, going to NC State. I think this is a trap game for Georgia Tech for sure. And NC State, it's not the easiest place to play at all. It's tough to play there, and I think it's, what time is that kickoff? If I could find it, 7:30 kickoff. So it's going to be a night game. Those are always a lot harder. But Georgia State, they've got, no, not Georgia State. What am I doing, man? What am I doing? Georgia Tech. It's Georgia Tech. My fault. Sorry. Georgia Tech, they do have Hank Keats, and I know we left him out of our Heisman thing the other day, and it's looking like that's another we don't know ball situation there. Because that guy's, he's very good, but he's all they got. It's kind of like Diego Pavia at Vanderbilt. That's literally just that's the whole team there. Like, that's all I wrote down for key factors for Georgia Tech because that's it. But NC State here, they got home field advantage, which is great. You got to take advantage of that. NC State, they've got one of the best running backs in the country, stats wise. So they got to be able to put themselves up in a position to where they can just lean on that run game and lean on Hollywood Smothers. Good name there. Good name. He's a running back. So yeah, I got a trap game there. But I think Georgia Tech pulls this one out. We'll go down to USC at Nebraska. USC is ranked 23rd here. Okay. Some offensive stats here. Overall, USC, offensively wise, yards per game, they're first in the country, sitting about 530 yards a game. Passing, they're first, sitting there at 326 yards a game, and then scoring their fifth, get about 42 points a game. And then Nebraska's defensive stats here. Overall yards that they're letting up a game, 285 yards. Okay. That's 13th in the country. Okay. And then passing, this is defense, remember. They're letting about 127 yards per game. That's second in the country. This is at Nebraska. What time's kickoff? Nebraska's it's a tough place to play. It's not a cakewalk by any means there. Let's see here. Where's this game at? Got to scroll down. Another night game, 7:30. But the thing is, it's Lincoln Riley, and Lincoln. The one thing about Lincoln Riley is he's always going to have a juggernaut offense, explosive offense. But Nebraska's got a home field advantage, which that always helps you out. And then, always blanking on names, man. Dylan Raiola, Nebraska quarterback. In my opinion, at some point, I mean, where is it? That guy is one of the highest touted quarterback recruits in history. But here we are. He's not a top quarterback in the country. So when is it coming? Where's it at? Because I'm tired of hearing about him. At some point, the performance just needs to happen. And then USC, they got a dog quarterback too. We're actually going to be talking about him later. Jaden Mayava, he's a baller. He's going to be really good, really good. He's very poised. So between this game here, I'm going to go USC. I'm going to go USC pulling out the win. And we actually forgot to go over game lines. So let's do that real quick. Okay. Game lines for USC Nebraska. It's -6 for USC. The over's at 59.5, and then moneyline Nebraska is +185. And let's jump back to Georgia Tech and NC State. Where you at? The spread is -5.5 for Georgia Tech. The total 58.5, and then moneyline NC State is +170. I'm pretty sure that spread's moved. I think it was a lot higher. Let's go up to number 5, Georgia versus Florida. So this is a rivalry game. For those who didn't know, this is the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Wish they just picked a shorter name, to be honest with you. But game lines, you got spread -7 for Georgia. The total is at 50.5, and then moneyline Florida is +235. So what's a real factor, and you've seen it a couple times now this year, is it's called the interim head coach bump. And it's real. I mean, look at UCLA. Sorry. They fire their coach. They rattle off 3 wins. One being Penn State, big win. UAB fired Trent Dilfer, and then they beat Memphis, who's probably going to be in the playoffs as the Group of 5 bid there. So there's an interim head coach bump there for sure. And the other thing is Florida has nothing else to lose. I mean, I guess you could lose DJ Lagway, but it's looking like he's going to stay. But when you got a team that they got nothing to lose, they're probably the most dangerous team in the country at that point. And then what makes the interim head coach bump so dangerous is that you usually have a new play caller too on both sides of the ball, and that equals new tendencies. So the opposing team, you don't have a lot of time here to, watch film, game plan, and figure it out. So you got the opposing team scrambling, trying to figure out all these tendencies that they're going to show up against. And a lot of teams, they fire their coach for a bye week so they can game plan themselves. So, yeah, that's the interim head coach bump there. But it's Georgia, so we're going to take Georgia. Okay. I think they probably I don't know if we'll cover that spread, but we'll see. I guess with that, we'll just move up to our heavy hitters. Where do we want to start here? Mm-mm-mm. We'll go. We'll go Navy. Navy at North Texas. Yes, this is a heavy hitter game because this is playoff implications here for the group of 5 schools here. Okay. Uh, Navy, they're first in the country in rushing yards. Shocker. If you guys know that offense, it's just a running offense. Okay. 318 yards a game sitting around there. Okay. But North Texas there, they're sixth in passing yards a game, 316. And they're first in points per game, sitting at 46 a game. Quite literally, North Texas just goes out there and they just chuck the ball, throw it in the air, go deep. Literally, that's what that offense is, and it works. It works. Red zone matchup here is going to be very important for this game. Very important because North Texas, their red zone defense is sitting around 116th in the country, and Navy's got I don't know if that's right or not. We'll say top 35 because I feel like that's not right. Navy's got a top 35 red zone offense. Okay, so you got top 35 versus like a 120 there. Those might be right numbers actually. I don't know. Might have changed. And then we got a time of possession battle written down here also. North Texas, they're sitting around 29 minutes for time of possession, and Navy sitting around 31. Let me look at Navy's past games here because, I'm wondering if, they played a team that airs it out the way North Texas is going to. I'm willing to say no. There. Looking at these schools, no. This is at North Texas too. Looks like it's a noon game there. Let's look at the game line. Man, we keep forgetting game lines, man. Keep forgetting them. Wow. Spreads at -6.5 for North Texas. Totals at 65.5. And then Moneyline Navy is at +205. So if you know Navy, like I said, they just run the ball. Navy's going to come out and run the ball. If North Texas, I think North Texas can out athlete them at the skill positions there. So if North Texas can just stop the run, it's going to be a hard task, but if you can do that, I think this is pretty much I wouldn't say easy one, but I think it's a win for North Texas. So we're going to go North Texas here, guys. Moving on here, let's jump down to let's go number 18 Oklahoma at number 14 Tennessee. This is a night game in Neyland Stadium, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be in their black uniforms too. Huge game here because playoff spot is on the line here. And the other thing is what's going on with Oklahoma? It's kind of almost getting to the point. If I feel like if Oklahoma loses this game, that seat for Brent Venables there is going to start heating up there if it's not already hot. But Tennessee, they're second in points here, sitting about 45 a game. And then I gotta clean up my Google Doc here. I just pasted the same stat back to back. But yeah, points per game, they're sitting at there at 45 a game, and then defensive stat for Oklahoma here, they're only letting up about 12 points a game. That's fifth. And then overall yards a game, they're letting up about 240. So, the thing about Oklahoma's defense is it might not be as good as everybody thought it is, considering what happened last week. So we'll find out against Tennessee. It's such a counterbalance thing in this game. Like, Oklahoma's got a good defense. Tennessee's got a good offense. Tennessee's got a horrible defense. But then it's Oklahoma's offense. Like, what is it going to be? Is it going to be John Mateer? Healthy, you know, supposable Heisman candidate John Mateer? I don't think it is. And that offense coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, he came over with Mateer from Washington State there. Um, I just don't. It's not what everybody thought it was. Like I've mentioned that before, because there's just no identity on the offense for them. It's literally, it's kind of like Lenore South Carolina. John Mateer's got to be a Superman. He's got to be Superman. The offensive line isn't performing like they should be. The run game is not there, and John Mateer is just doing whatever he can to carry that team. Um, so I'm going. I'm going to go Tennessee here. I think this knocks out Oklahoma. And I think this might be a stretch for Oklahoma where they lose more than one game here, unfortunately. And we'll see what that seat is for Brent Venables there. This is like Josh Heupel there at Tennessee. He's going against his alma mater here in Oklahoma. So this is a big game for him. A lot of people, let's look at the game lines here. See what that total is, because I know a lot of people are hinting at the under on this game, and I'm not so sure on that. But you got the spread is -3 for Tennessee. Total's at 55.5, and then money line Oklahoma, at plus 124. I think Tennessee kind of pulls away in this game, to be honest with you. I'm not real confident in Oklahoma, especially after last week and what's going on over there. Not confident. Tennessee wins this one, and I think they pull away and get a convincing one. Let's go to 9 Vandy, which is Vanderbilt, if you didn't know, at number 20 Texas. What I got down for this game, and we'll just start off with the game lines here. The spread is -3 Texas. The total sitting at 47.5, and then money line Vanderbilt is plus 130. I think this is going to be a pretty big trench warfare game here. Okay, who controls that trench, that line of scrimmage? I think comes away with this game. Some injury report here. I don't think Arch is going to play. That could change, but I'm pretty sure it's leaning towards he's not going to play. Got a concussion. And then the safety Taft for Texas. He just got hand surgery, so he's going to be out also. Those are two pretty, big losses there for Texas. So what are they going to do? That quarterback, where's that? This is a noon game, isn't it? Yep, sure is. Quarterback for Texas. Oh my goodness. Where's that? It's going to be Matthew Caldwell. He's a senior. He's definitely a transfer. Where did he transfer from? Don't think we're going to figure that out here. I think it was Troy. I think he transferred from Troy. Dude, my computer's not working at all. Yeah, he transferred from Troy. Okay. He didn't look bad in that comeback win against Mississippi State last week. He's got experience playing. He's got more than Arch Manning at least. But still, I mean, you're losing your, supposed to be superstar quarterback in Arch. So that's tough. That's something to keep an eye on. Offensive stat here for Vandy is 38 points a game. That's 12th in the country. And then they're rushing for about 203 yards. That's 24th in the country. Defensive stat for Vandy is they're only letting up about 18 points a game. That's 24th in the country. And then they're letting up about 101 rushing yards a game. That's 18th in the country. I don't have a offensive stat for Texas because, that offense is just mid, very mid. So defensive stat for Texas is they're letting up about 80 yards a game on the ground. That's 3rd in the country. And they're letting about 14 points a game. That's 10th in the country. So that Texas D, they're good. They didn't look good last week. But, Mississippi State's Jeff Lebby over there, that's a good team. And they're going to be good in a couple of years and probably good next year, actually. he's building something good over there. They didn't look good last week, but like I said, Jeff Lebby, Mississippi State, they got a good offense. I think what this comes down to is the defense for Texas. They've got to just put the backpack on and just they've got to win this game for them. They've got to. I mean, Sark is going to scheme up some plays, but Vandy's still got a good defense, and Vanderbilt, they don't have to do anything special. They really don't. They just do what Vanderbilt does and plays their game. They're going to win it. They really are. Money down here is going to be important. If you didn't know, money down is just third down. Money down for Texas defense is they're sitting about 21st in the country at 31%, and then Vandy's offense is sitting at 52% on money down there. So that's going to be a big factor of this game. If I'm Texas, I think you stack that box up there. You get really disciplined with your eyes because Vanderbilt, they're going to do a lot of eye candy with RPO and motioning into it. So I think if you stack that box, play disciplined football, and make Vanderbilt really drop back and throw the ball, I think you win this game because, Pavia is Pavia. He does everything for them. But it's not like he's going to, absolutely torch you through the air. Let's look at a couple past games here for them. Where's that? We clicked the wrong thing. Of course we did. This is just we're not doing good on the box score here. Not doing good here. Pavia here, okay. Against Georgia State, he threw for 245. Whatever. They won 70-21. I'd hope you throw for that many yards. Against Utah State, 321. Again, those are two, lesser opponents. I hope you throw for that many yards. But against, real opponents here, Alabama threw for 198, LSU 160, Missouri 129. So that's not a passing offense there. Not a passing offense. It's a heavy RPO offense, a lot of eye candy. They want to run the ball, and David Pollock, he said this week that I guess it's kind of insulting to say, but it's kind of accurate. He called it a backyard football offense, which when he said that, I'm like, that actually makes a lot of sense because that's pretty accurate. Kind of disrespectful though. But yeah, for Texas to win this game, defense has to win. Make Diego, Pavia, and Vanderbilt, make him throw the ball. And if he does, and he beats you, you tip your hat to him. Yeah, congratulations. Because if that happens, that just means that your offense quite literally didn't do anything at all, which could happen. You never know. That leaves us to our game of the week, right? Huge game of the week here. Huge game of the week. We got the Cincinnati Bearcats sitting at 17th in the country, and they're going to Utah's 24th. This is our game of the week. The guys, I cannot express this enough how big of a matchup this is. This is a huge game, and the whole country knows it. And you know what time this game kicks off? 10 p.m. 10 p.m. This is playoff and Big 12 implications here, and they kick off at 10 o'clock. What are we doing? Why? Why would you do that to them? But injury for UC here. Pryor, the running back, he's going to be out. That's already been confirmed. That's a decent loss for them because that's kind of their home run hitting running back there. But they got Manny Covey. I think that's his name. I think he's not going to do what Pryor does, but he still has the potential to be a home run hitter there on the ground through the air. So he's going to be filling out the role for them. Let's look at some stats here. UC on offense, they're 13th in the country, 38 points a game. Their red zone offense ranks 4th at 97%. Defensive-wise for UC, their defense is letting about 19 points per game, and that's about 28th in the country. Yeah, the defense, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough for them. They've got to step it up, especially the defense line. I think the defense line is rated as one of the lower groups in the Big 12 and uh, there. And if they got Corey Lone, he's going to play. He's got to play the whole game, and he's got to be healthy for a whole game. And if he is, they'll be fine. They'll be fine because he's going to be playing on Sunday. Utah, they're top 15 in yards per game, rushing yards, and points per game. Yards per game, they're getting about 476, rushing yards 267, and then points a game, they're getting about 38. Quick water break there. Yeah, that's intimidating. That's intimidating there. Top 15 and all that. That's good. It's a good football team. And then their defense, the defense is top 15 and yards a game, passing yards a game, and then points allowed. Yards a game, they let about 285, passing yards 148, and then points 14. So the offense and defense is very strong. But then again, these are all stats. So you got to take into factor, who have they played? It's kind of just looking like it's like looking at a box score. But we talk about it because it's still important stuff. But film is more important. Film is a lot more important there. Key factors of this game here. Once again, money down percentage here. Utah third with 54, and then UC is 44th at 43, and then UC's defense is 12th on third down against it, and then UC's defense is 4th against it. Penalties are also a big factor here for UC. UC's letting up about, we'll round down to 7 penalties per game, and that's equaling out to about 71 yards per game in penalties. Can't do that, especially when you're playing away at Utah in that environment. So, naming off all these stats, you're probably thinking, well, wow, I mean, Utah's definitely got the upper hand. And we'll even check out the box score here. Not the box score, the game lines. The spread here is minus 10 straight up for Utah. The total was about 54.5. And then money line for UC is plus 310. So you see all this, you take all this information in, and you're probably thinking, Utah's obviously favored. Utah, stats-wise, they're a lot better. They look a lot stronger. But there's something Utah doesn't have, and it's Brendan Sorsby. He's a quarterback for UC. He's 5th in our Heisman ratings. That's a dog alert right there. Dog alert. Huge dog alert. Brendan Sorsby, watching him play football is like watching a top point guard in the NBA call ISO. I mean, it's just a straight ISO ball. ISO. That's what he does. Brendan Sorsby here, 6th in quarterback rating, 172. He's 6th in passing touchdowns, 20. He's tied for 1st in points that he's accounted for. He's getting about 20 points per game just by himself. He is unbelievable to watch. Unbelievable to watch. And I really hope that you guys are awake for that game. You might not be, but you really need to try and watch that game. You need to watch Brendan Sorsby play football because, man, it's just fun to watch. It's fun to watch. He's so good. He is so good. So that's our preview there on the games of heavy hitters and underdogs. Let's move into locks only. Locks only. Now, before I start, I'm not saying I'm betting these myself. I'm not saying that. These are just me. If I were to bet, these are just some bets that I like. I call them locks only because it's just a good name segment. Okay, they could hit, they could not hit. If you cannot bet, if you don't have the money, don't do it. Okay, so don't blame me. Don't come after me. But I like UC's line there at plus 10 against Utah. I'd probably move it to 10.5 if I could because I don't like betting numbers straight up. Also got Purdue at Michigan plus 21.5. Michigan is ranked. Is also at Michigan. but my confidence level in Michigan blowing a team out is not there. Then we have Nebraska +6 versus USC. I would move that line to. I would do it 7.5. If you want to do alternates, you could just be a safer bet. But the odds, of course, are not going to be as good as they were if it was +6. And then Michigan State +3 at Minnesota. We'll see if that game even gets over 20 points because both those teams are not that good. And then our war room, we were 2-0 last week. Let's build off of that. What on earth did I write down here? What is that? Hold on, we need to check this because I typed out Mission State, and that's the wrong team. Mississippi State. That makes sense. Mississippi State +4.5 versus Arkansas. This is at Arkansas. I think Mississippi State's got a good chance at even winning this game. And then Arizona State +7.5 at Iowa State. I think that's a very generous spread there. And I will probably end up taking both those if I decide to bet this weekend, but we'll see what happens. Do we want to cover anything else? Oh, that's right. We have position rankings. Position rankings, these are going to be controversial, I can already tell. These are kind of put on the fly, I guess you could say. So I'm probably missing some guys. But we'll start off. We'll just start off with quarterback. Honorable mention, I got Joey Aguilar from Tennessee, Taylor Green from Arkansas, and then Julian Sain from Ohio State. That one's going to be controversial, I can already tell. But number 1, I got Ty Simpson. Number 2, Fernando Mendoza. He's the quarterback at Indiana. Number 3, I got Marcel Reed. He's the quarterback at Texas A&M. 4, dog alert. Got Brendan Sorsby at 4 there. And then 5th, I got Jaden Mayava from USC. It's just what I got right now. It's all subject to change. We'll definitely do like a little updated rankings once we get a little bit closer to the end of the year. Running back, honorable mention. I got Cam Cook. He is from Jacksonville State. He just played last night. I have no idea how he did. He probably could have did terrible, so apologies. And then our other honorable mention is Hollywood Smothers. He is from NC State. We've talked about him earlier. Number 1, I got Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame. And I probably should have said this earlier. Like my criteria for these, it's not just completely based off stats. Stats have to do with it. Of course, they play into it. It's all just based off talent level and eye test for me. Okay. So yeah, Jeremiah Love at 1. He's a running back from Notre Dame. We got Justin Haynes at 2 from Michigan, the Alabama transfer. And then number 3, we got Ahmad Hardy, the running back from Missouri. 4, we got Kylan Lacey, the running back for Ole Miss. And then 5, we got Emmett Johnson. And I'm completely drawing a blank on where I think he's actually in Nebraska. I'm saying Nebraska. We're looking up right now. We're going to Nebraska. We're looking up now. Let's see if I'm right. Emmett Johnson. I was right. He's Nebraska. Too good. I got it down. Let's move to wide receivers here. Honorable mention, we got Jordan Tyson, Arizona State. Chris Bell, Louisville. Yes, he's Louisville. Carnell Tate from Ohio State, and then Ryan Williams from Alabama. Those are honorable mentions. And then number 1, we got Makai Lemon from USC. Balling out. That dude's scary. Number 2, Jeremiah Smith. I'm sure I'm going to get hate for him. He should be at number 1. Whatever. Makai Lemon, he's the number 1 wide receiver in the country right now. But Jeremiah Smith, it's Jeremiah Smith. I get it. He gets bracketed every game. I understand it. Okay. I got him at 2, though. That's fine. Don't get mad. Okay. And then number 3, we got Mario Craver. Number 4, we got Jeremy Bernard. Mario Craver, Texas A&M. Number 4, Jeremy Bernard from Bama. And then number 5, we got Chris Brazzell from Tennessee there. Probably going to get hate on the Jeremy Bernard pick, but going to give a hate. You're going to say it's biased pick. If you turn on the game, you watch him. That guy is one of the best wide receivers in the country, 100%. 100%. We're going to move to defense here. We didn't do tight ends. I thought about it, but I don't know. We'll just call it a laziness thing. I didn't want to go through tight ends because, dude, tight ends are hard, dude. That's hard. Because, like, I wouldn't do it based on all catching and touchdowns. I would factor in, what are they like in that 3-point stance, blocking, or what are they like blocking out of the backfield, stuff like that. I would factor that in. That'd be a lot to do right there. D-line. Honorable mention, we got Derek Moore from Michigan, LT Overton from Alabama, Zion Young from Missouri, John Henry Daly from Utah. Those are honorable mentions. Number 1, Ruben Bain from Miami. He's going to be probably a top 10 draft pick. He's one of the best players in the country, too. Number 2, David Bailey from Texas Tech. Number 3, Dylan Stewart from South Carolina. 4, we got Colin Simmons from Texas. And then 5, Cassius Howell from Texas A&M. Moving on to linebackers, honorable mentions. We got Justin Jefferson from Bama, C.J. Allen from Georgia, and then Jake Goldie from Cincinnati. Number 1, we got Arvell Reese from Ohio State. Holy cow, you guys. Man, that dude's insane. He just flies around the field, and it's been a while since I feel like we've seen, at least I've seen a linebacker that is that athletic, but so disciplined with their eyes. And when you have those two comboed, you're going to be an insane football player. And he is that. He's one of the best players in the country for sure. Number 2, Xavier Watkins from Auburn. He's kind of like Arvell Reese, but not as good. Very athletic, very eye disciplined. He's a very good player. Number 3, Anthony Hill from Texas. Number 4, Keaton Thomas. I'm trying to remember, where's Keaton Thomas? Where's he from? I should have wrote the names next to these. Going off memory. For going off memory, though, I feel like I've done pretty good. Baylor. Keaton Thomas is from Baylor. That might have been a bad pick. That might have been. Number 5, Eric Gentry. Yeah, I don't remember that either. Don't remember that one. Let's look him up. USC. Moving on to safety. I had a hard time doing not safety, but cornerbacks. And at first I was just going to do DBs, but I got to my top 5 and they were all safeties. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to just split them up. So safety, honorable mention, we got Keon Sapp from Bama. We got Marcus Ratcliffe. Okay, I'm officially failing on schools here. Marcus Ratcliffe. Wow. Came up with a painting. Texas A&M. That's where he plays. Honorable mention there. AJ Halsey's from LSU. KJ Bolden's from Georgia. Number 1, I think we all can just agree that it's Caleb Downs. And I think we also all can agree that he's the best player in college football. And it's not close. I think there's a gap. Number 2, we got Bishop Fitzgerald. He is from... He's also from USC. Did I pick 2 USC guys in here? Oops. Oh, well. We'll roll with it. Number 3, we got Bray Hubbard from Alabama. Exciting White. That's what they call him. Number 4, we got Janice Smith. Has to be a typo, right? Tell me I just wrote that down wrong. Genesis Smith. Arizona. And then number 5, we got Rod Moore from Michigan. Moving on to corner here. Honorable mention, we got, see, I'm going to butcher these names. He plays at Ohio State. I think his number is 1. We'll give it a shot here. Davison Igbinato. He's a good football player. Good football player. He'll be playing on Sundays. He's an honorable mention. We got Avion Terrell, Kelly Jones, and then Jared McCoy. Jared McCoy is from Tennessee. Kelly Jones. Mississippi State. Kelly Jones, Mississippi State. Okay. And then Avion Terrell, I want to say, is LSU. Nope. Avion Terrell is Clemson. It was a Tiger. Got that right. So those are honorable mentions. And then number 1 here, we got Leonard Moore from Notre Dame. Number 2, sorry about the name. I'm going to say Mansour Delane. Let's see where he's from. LSU. He's at number 2 for us. Malik Muhammad from Texas is at 3. Jair Hill is at 4, I think. Jair Hill's Michigan. Yeah, I think, right? Is that the right Jair Hill? I don't know if this is right. Jair Hill. Yep, he's Michigan. I was right. He's at 4, and then 5, we got Zabin Brown from Alabama. So there's our position rankings. Like I said, subject to change. Okay, I'm sure I missed it, and hopefully you guys let me know. Do we want to go over anything else? We're done with heavy hitters. We're done with underdogs, locks, war room, position, and then we did the coaching carousel already. I think we'll end it there. That's all I got. We'll be back either Sunday or Monday. Subscribe, follow, like, comment, share it. We're getting some good feedback from you guys, so I appreciate it. Let's continue to grow and build off of it. Let's have a good rest of the week. Guys, be smart, be safe, and we'll see you next week.